wide receiver coach and passing game coordinator here in Cleburne, Texas. The way that I'm going to do this Zoom is basically what I'm going to do is show a PowerPoint presentation and kind of give you my philosophy on what I think is important. And then at the end of it, I'll show some huddle clips and then we'll go from there. Just a little bit of my background. I went to a small 2A school here in the state of Texas, and I went and played at a small D3 university in Hardin-Simmons in Abilene, Texas. Played running back my freshman year, and then I made the switch over to defense and played corner for the remainder of my career. And so, like, first and foremost with my receivers, I want them to have a defensive mindset. I want them to understand kind of how the defense works because to me, I feel like that'll help them in the long run get done what they need to get done. So we're going to jump right into this presentation. All right, so let's see. Share. All right, so we're talking about simply just trying to get open and make the play. I think that's very important when we're trying to do that and making things happen. So, like, for me, I want my guys to understand the thought process from a DB. And so I know that from playing it personally and hearing it from my coaches to hearing other DB coaches talk about it, I hear them always say a couple of these things that I'm just going to relay real quick. So DBs are taught to read body language. So I tell my guys, man, if you're going to be lazy with your stance or with your release, or if you're running out of your route break and you're up high and, like, they're looking for that stuff, so they're going to give it away. And, you know, DBs are taught to read hips and not focus on, like, your eyes, shoulders, and feet and all the other stuff. So they're looking to try to mirror you while keeping you in the center of their view. So wide receiver alignment, so they're looking for that, obviously. So I tell them, hey, listen, if you have an inside alignment, they're probably going to think that you have something that's going to be going inside, okay? Or if you're wide, maybe you line up inside to keep anything from going inside, okay? They're usually told to keep inside leverage. I know that's what we were told a lot. Disguising the alignment, so making sure that if we're going to press, we're not always right in your face. Maybe we kind of walk down while you're focused on where the ball is. When in fit position, we're told to lean on a receiver and disrupt rhythm, okay? So, you know, slapping the hands, wrists, or thighs, and then route breaks. They're either 5, 10, 15 yards. So I tell those guys, like, this is what they're looking for. And if you can kind of get the mindset of a DB when you're playing receiver and kind of take away what he's looking for, then you set yourself up for success. All right, so we're talking about attacking the defender. All right, so DBs aren't dumb, so we got to give them a reason to respect you, obviously. All right, so movement with no purpose is useless. So, like, cone drills are good, ladders are good, all that stuff for quick movement on your feet are good. But, like, if you're not going anywhere and you're just gyrating and you're just, you know, doing all this stuff, to me, I don't think it's really helping you any because it's not taking you anywhere. Okay, so you got to get the DB to react somehow, okay? And if you're just moving in one spot but not getting any kind of ground, okay, you're losing what you could potentially do to him to help you get open. So if a DB's pressed, what do? You know, and in our league, there was one team that really pressed us. But other than that, we didn't really see. We saw a lot of cover 1 and some cover 0, but we didn't really see, you know, people right in the mix of us, except for one team, that was Midlothian. They had a heck of a secondary coach. All right, so DBs are going to try to create collisions, right? They're going to try to create collisions at the line of scrimmage. So I tell them all the time, like, if you're going to step right at those guys, and their main goal is to try to disrupt your route, then don't be surprised when they get hands on you and they take you to the parking lot and they bench press you. Okay, so I tell those guys it's perfectly fine if you take a step back. If they're aggressive, if you take a step back and create that neutral zone, all right, between you and the defender, all right, so you can get going where you need to get going. So punch, rip, and stacking. So I tell those guys as soon as they throw their hand out, we need to punch it away. All right, and as we punch it away, okay, we're going to rip. Okay, so as we punch, we're going to punch with our same side foot. Okay, and then we're going to rip through. Okay, and as we rip through, we're stepping with our rip foot. Okay, so they're our inside foot. Okay, to try to replace and stack their defender. Okay, because in my opinion, if we can get that guy behind us in trail position, then we've already won. because now he's just in catch-up mode and he's trying to catch us. He's from behind, so it's going to make his job a lot harder. I tell my guys, once you're on top of the route or once you're on top of the defender, you know, you own it now. Okay, so you're in control of everything that happens. So if the ball is thrown short, you know it's thrown short. He doesn't. All right, if it's thrown far, you know it. He doesn't. You know, so the fastest way is if you can get stacked as fast as possible. That's something that I really teach my guys or talk to them about. Okay, so all right, so once toes are stepped on, or sorry, so we're trying to close as much gap as we can. Okay, so if the DB's off, close the cushion. All right, so if he's off and he's backpedaling or he's shuffling or whatever he's told to do, we're trying to push him as fast as we can vertically to get him to react in some way. If all he does is shuffle, or backpedal, and we're not trying to make him do anything else, okay, then it's gonna be hard for us to do our job. Okay, so we got to make him uncomfortable by pressing him vertically as fast as you can. Okay, and so once we step on his toes, that's when I can attack with my hands. Either I push him by, or I'd use my flipper technique and push off, or just run right by him. Okay, so the releases, and like I said earlier, releases are great, man. When you have those receivers who make those guys that are pressed, you know, just hit air because they're gone and their releases are good, that's awesome. But not every receiver can do that. And they all have different skill sets. And so, sure, like stylish releases are great for getting open, but it's not about the style points, you know. It's not a beauty contest. So my thing is I need you to get to the open grass. Wherever we're trying to get you on the field, I need you to get there as fast as possible. Okay, so I feel like releases are meant to help aid you in where you want to go. So I think your release is determined by the progression of the route, all right, and the time it takes to get there, and also how the DB's playing you. So you just got to know all these things. Have a plan at the line of scrimmage. Understand what the situation calls for on whatever play is called. Whether it's goal line, red zone, midfield, or you're backed up. Obviously, all that's going to depend on how you release. And then be physical. Against better DBs, man, like there won't be many free releases, especially the ones like Coach Harvey talks about his guys. They're phenomenal, and he loves the press, you know. And having that happen to you and getting pressed and not being able to do anything, that's something that I feel like a lot of young receivers are scared of. All right, so we have to be physical, and we got to take the fight to the DB and take pride in it. All right, and we need to have that attacking mindset. So I tell my guys, you know, you're the dictator of what you want to do. So if you don't want to get beat up at the line, then do something about it. You know, be more physical than that DB. So moving on, creating separation. Obviously, we know that's important. That's huge. So we know that as a receiver, we're trying to create as much separation as we can in order to make the play easier on us. All right. And we understand that sometimes, you know, you might not have the separation you need. And so that's when making the play comes into effect and being a playmaker. But, you know, getting in and out of your break as fast as possible is key. All right. And I tell my guys, you know, I want you to come out of your break just as fast as you got into it. So if I know that I'm running a comeback, or I know that I'm running some type of choice route and I've got to come downhill and meet the ball, like I've got to get to it quick, and then I've also got to come out of it quick. All right. And then making sure that I'm attacking the ball and I'm running through it. All right. And making sure that I can get something happening that's going to help me be successful. All right. And then the drill that we usually work on with this is we're just the push by drill. So I'll usually put like a DB inside of the receiver's hip. The ball will be inside. I'll be in there with the ball. And then basically what happens is, you know, as we're running, okay, we'll get to about 5-7 yards, and then I'll push him by. So I'll place my hand in a small part of his back, push him by, and I'll rip through, okay, and I'll look to catch the ball. All right, and the flipper drill, that's when the DB's leaning on you. Okay, I tell those guys, hey, he's going to be leaning on you, so you can lean as well. And at the very last minute, you're going to throw that flipper, okay, and then go make a play on the ball. All right, so there's that. All right, so beating loose coverage. All right, the initial key is making every route or blocking assignment look the same, and this is tough. This is tough for a lot of guys who either don't get the targets that they're wanting, or they feel like blocking is not as important. And I tell us all the time, you know, I mean, you doing your job blocking, okay, it'll put 6 on the board a lot of times because you're the last line of defense, okay? And so I tell them, whether you're running a stop, whether you're running a slant, whether you're running an out-breaking route, a go, anything intermediate, like you need to make it all look the same, and not let them know, what's going on. There's a lot of times with a lot of young wide receivers where we see them where they know they're not getting the ball, so they'll probably take a play off. Now, obviously, it depends on what's called. There's a lot of things, we're not going to have a guy that's not really in the progression running all over the field trying to make something happen, but they do have to understand that every route that they run is complementary to helping out the big scheme of things, okay, and making things happen. So the vertical push is important. If we have someone that's off, we need to eat up as much grass as possible, all right, that you can between you and the DB. It's much harder for the DB to undercut a route, okay, when the wide receiver is releasing off the ball with the same speed no matter what assignment that he has to do, whether he's running a route or blocking. Okay, so we need to sell the illusion, all right? It's not always realistic that a wide receiver always comes out the ball hard, only because every play we know is not always going to be a pass play to you. Run game is important, obviously. And so, what I tell my guys is, you might not be in the mix of what's going on, but you still need to make sure and sell the illusion that the ball's coming to you. Even if we're on the goal line and the ball's going to our guy that's way over here, and you have a stop route, I still want you to run it like you're running a track meet, okay, and still make it look like you're the one getting the ball. Okay, so selling illusion is important. All right, what does it say? So we need to with our low pad level, keeping chest over toes. As far as the stance and stuff, I'm not huge on that. Like, obviously I want their stance to be kind of shoulder width apart. That way there's no false steps. But at the end of the day, if it's not exactly how I want it, and they're getting the job done, I'm not compromising, but maybe that's the way that they can do it. Okay. And so you have to learn how to differentiate your coaching. And so that's just how it goes sometimes. So being prepared. So, I share huddle tech all the time during weeks, on game weeks against the opponents we're playing, and telling our guys, listen, and the good thing about huddle now is you can sit there and you can track their progress or how much they've watched it, so you can know who's being accountable and who isn't. And so being prepared, always knowing what's going on, understanding how the DBs are going to play you that week, and if you have an aggressive one or if you have one that's kind of lazy, and understanding, watching, if they get an outbreak or inside break, how do they react to it, and setting yourself up for success. So we do checks on that, obviously, do a little quiz work and kind of just talk to them and make sure that they're prepared as possible. Because if they're prepared and I can limit their thinking time and they're able to just react in the game, then that's where we're going to see success for sure. All right, and then attacking leverage, okay? If the DB is inside, obviously you want to attack him inside, and vice versa with outside leverage, okay? So the quickest way to threaten a DB is to force him into panic mode, but that's by closing grasp. So if he's playing off, the faster you can get there to him and give him less time to react, the better. All right, and after you see how the DB reacts to your leverage, okay, and how it's been compromised, then now you can execute your plan. So whatever route's called for, okay, and whatever your plan is, the fastest that you can, the quickest that, if you eat up the grass as quick as possible, okay, and close that distance between you and the DB, you're only setting yourself up for success. In the blind spot, obviously, if at any point a wide receiver can force the DB to turn his shoulders, all right, that's huge. And when I say that, if he's zone turning and he's turning towards the ball and he's keeping me, then I'm going to attack his near hip, okay? And then now I feel like once we do that, we have him where we want him, because now if I break out, he's got to either speed turn or zone turn. And it's going to be hard for him to do that if we're running full speed. But that all hinges off of us making every single route look like we're going as fast as possible, and not taking plays off. Okay, so the blind spot is something I tell those guys to attack. Obviously, playing DB, I understood that. And, I didn't like it when receivers got to where I couldn't see them, because speed turning is hard, and that's what's called for sometimes, but you take your eyes off the receiver. And once you can get that to happen, okay, you're in a good shape. All right, so how do I beat press coverage? if the receiver doesn't know how to get off a jam, okay, and he gets jammed, it ruins everything. All right. And so we see in practice sometimes our DBs will get the best of my guys and they'll get upset, but I tell them, don't get jammed. Find a way for it to not to happen. We do one-on-ones and they get frustrated about it. What are you going to do about it? You know what I mean? Like, what can you do this time? And I always question them in practice, like, what'd you do wrong this time? Or what is something that you can do better to help you be successful next time? Okay. And so, but if he doesn't know how and we don't teach him, all right, then everything that they do or what we're trying to do is not going to be successful because he's disrupting what we're trying to get done. So we got to win at the line of scrimmage using your hands and your feet. Okay. Footwork and handwork are essential. All right. So if I can get him to move out of his comfort zone and out of where he feels square, okay, then I feel like it sets us up for success. But in a nutshell, press coverage is a way for the defense to disrupt both the quarterback and the wide receiver's timing. So if we can beat their press and continue taking advantage of it and getting where we need to get open, and then eventually they'll get out of it, hopefully, and then it'll open up a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so just tell your guys if you see a lot of press coverage, just to continue working at it, and then obviously just talk to them as they go. If they get beat up at the line of scrimmage, then just talk to them, be like, what'd you do this time, or what could you do different next time to help you set yourself up for success and that stuff. So the stance, chin over the front knee. I always tell them roll my knee over my toes. So I want to get in a stance where I cannot see my toe, but my knee is over it. So there's no false stepping. I have my weight forward. My hands are ready in fighter stance. Just because, I know a lot of receivers, either they'll get lined up and they'll look inside, they put their hands and they'll cross their hands over their leg and they'll be looking. But for me, if I have a DB that's in front of me, I know when I play DB and I saw a receiver that was lazy with his hands, the first thing I was going to do when I saw him move was check him in the chest. Okay. And that's never a fun thing to happen to you when you get checked like that. So I tell them always, when you're lined up, you're looking inside, you got your hands up, okay, and then you're ready to do whatever. So as soon as he goes and punches, you can punch, you can rip, you can throw by, whatever you got to do to get yourself off the line of scrimmage. But if your hands are down by your side and you're relaxed and that guy steps up and we don't know it, okay, then it's never a good thing. So that's where watching film comes into play. All right, so moving on. So beating press coverage. So the mindset, it's a mindset, Coach Harvey said when he was talking about DBs the other day that it's a confidence thing, for his guys to be so good at what they do, it's a confidence thing and it's something they had to rep over and over. But once you gain confidence, it's like it becomes second nature. And so I tell my guys all the time, just be comfortable and don't panic. You get pressed, you worked it, you've talked about it, and you're trained for it. So don't worry about it. It's going to be just fine. Just do what you do and go out there and be a playmaker. All right. Take the time to get in a proper stance and be able to look down the line of scrimmage. So, a lot of things happen, obviously, in a game, especially when you're on teams that try to tempo people, is, you might get a big game. You're running down the field. You're looking at where the ball's spot. You're trying to get the call from the sideline. You're trying to see whether the call is going to tell you to be on or off. You're trying to see if you're set. You're checking with the referee. All right. And then what you're doing is you're making sure you're seeing where the defense is and stuff. So there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, but watching film and being comfortable and being confident in your skill, okay, and being prepared, okay, and limit the thinking part. You can just go out there and react. And so you want to assess a DB and to take their showing. So if they've been pressing all night, and think about what am I going to do? Okay. If I have inside breaking route, obviously, what am I going to do when he comes at me and he's inside a little bit? Well, maybe that means that I've got to outside release him. So diamond release him a little bit. Okay. So foot fire releases, okay, and that's just generating movement at the line of scrimmage, okay, and to get into your stem or out. So as soon as I can release and I can break him down a little bit, all right, then I can make something happen. One step jab. So I just call this a diamond release. So if he's pressed up or he's inside, obviously I've got to get his hips turned somehow. All right. If he's inside and I have a slant, there's no way I can just go straight to him right now because I'm going to run right into that man. Okay. So I've got to get him out of his way a little bit. Okay. So maybe I've got to outside release a little bit and then rip underneath it. Okay. So that's where that comes in. And then speed releases. And this is where the receiver must take whatever angle he needs in order to get to where he needs to be. So that's just us telling those guys, get to the grass. I don't care how you get there, just get to the grass, because that's where we need you for this play to be successful. All right, so we're talking about assessing leverage and how important that is, especially when you're route running. All right, so the one thing that all great wideouts do and that they have in common is their ability to run great routes. If you can run great routes, man, it's awesome. And it's easy. It's easier to coach, you know, obviously. But manipulating the stem in a route for you to gain leverage on a defender is putting yourself in success. So I tell my guys, if the guy's playing off and I have an inside route like a post, then I have to make sure that I give you something at the top of my break that tells you that I'm going one way when I'm meaning to go the other way. All right. And, you know, you see a lot when we don't do that, how if DBs are smart and they're told to stay over the top and we press them vertical, and then instead of breaking outside or giving them some kind of move at the top of our stem, and they just roll over like they're running a post, and all the DB has to do is roll over the top of it, and it makes it very simple for him. If we can get the DB to hesitate just a little bit, okay, then we've got him where we want him. All right, so creating a stem and making leverage for yourself is vital. So the leverage identification, a receiver's success is determined by his ability to know and understand his job. All right, you can have the most skilled, the fastest, the best looking guy on the field, but if he doesn't know where to go or how he's going to get there, then it's just a waste. All right, and that's why I tell you, you know, here at Cleburne, we're not going to beat anybody with our speed. It's just not going to happen. All right, but the way that we get open, we make plays happen is by being smart, understanding what we have to offer, taking advantage of leverage, and then just being disciplined. All right, and that's how we have seen success. All right, so it's important for you to identify the leverage necessary in the route, okay? And then once you have identified what you need to do, okay, you can start stemming that guy, okay? So there's that. So inside leverage, we know that. On slants, digs, and hard posts, anything inside breaking, we want to try to get inside leverage. So if the DB is playing inside and we need it out, we need to get in there, okay, then I'm going to stem that guy. So I might bend my route to try to square him up, okay, and give him something outside and then break, okay, and vice versa. If I have outside breaking route, I've got to make this guy go to where I want him to go, opposite of where I want to end up, okay. So all that's very important, okay. Coaching the stem. At the end of the day, playing receiver is all about getting from point A to B as fast as possible. So just get to the grass. Just get to the grass as fast as we can. We'll get the ball to you. All right, and then we'll make something happen. Okay, and then and this is just the conclusion, talking about it's important things to remember when coaching the stem routes. Okay, where does the route fit in the scheme of what you're trying to accomplish? Using the stem of the route to manipulate the defender is a skill that can be learned over time. All right, and again, when it's all said and done, we need this guy to get to where we need him as fast as possible. And yes, we might teach him a certain way to do it in practice, but in the game, it's all about reaction. And if I can get my guy there to where I need him to get as fast as possible, then I'm not too concerned that he didn't put his hand where he was supposed to, or his inside foot wasn't up, or whatever. Okay, I just need him to get to where I need him to get to. All right, so making the play and the catch. All right, so this right here is your eyes are the most important thing. So when you're catching the football, you can't catch what you can't see, and you see a lot of times with younger receivers that when they go to catch the ball, you know, they're gonna go and stick their hands up to go catch it, but where their eyes go, you know, they're already thinking about what they're trying to do next. So you see a lot of people go to make a catch, but as it's approaching, they think they have it. Okay, they turn their eyes away, and the ball slips through. Okay, on a ball that they should have caught. All right, so you have to have intense concentration. You need to find the point of the ball and burn a hole through it with your eyes. So I tell my guys all the time, see the tip, catch the fat. See the tip of the ball coming, catch the fat of it. Okay, thumbs together, diamond, and just catch it, okay? Follow the ball all the way to the tuck. And so, like, what I tell my guys to do, and the thing that we do always in pre-practice, any kind of individual work where I'm throwing the ball to them, we do up-down calls, and all that simply is when I catch the ball and I tuck it, I'm looking for the laces. And if I see the laces and they're up and I can see them visible on top, that's an up call. And if they're down, that's a down call. Okay, so anytime I throw it, so if I'm going and they're coming straight downhill and I'm throwing it to and they catch it, boom, up. And I'm watching it too as I throw it. I want to see where the laces are, because if I see that they're up and they tell me down, then I know that they weren't looking the ball in, and I can get them for that. Okay, but if I see that I'm throwing it to it and the laces are down and they say down to me and they're communicating that back and being verbal, then that's giving me more confidence in that they're doing all the small stuff to help them be successful. Okay, body position. I always tell those guys, I need you to get in position to make a play, and the best way to do that is to keep yourself between the ball and the defender. And so, you know, if I'm running a fade route, okay, and I have to come back through a guy to catch it, I want to try to position my body in a way that makes it easier for me to make a play. Okay, and I tell those guys all the time, the ball's in the air, whose is it? Okay, and they'll say it's mine. All right, obviously you got to be selfish out there when the ball's coming your direction and it's in the air. It's a 50-50 ball between you and the DB. Whose ball is it? It's yours. You better go get it. Okay, attack the ball at its highest point. Okay, don't wait for it to come down. A lot of guys will sit there and they'll jump high up in the air to catch a ball, and they'll catch it right here. Why did you jump all the way up there just to catch it right here? You know what I mean? So if I can catch a high ball, okay, without having to jump and break my stride, then I want to do that, obviously. Now, I do understand that you have to jump and catch the ball sometimes, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that, but I think that's very important that you understand that you've got to be able to attack the ball, okay, when it's high. So you must jump and attack short balls that are hung up, so come through that guy. And at the end of the day, we also work drills where we have to pass break up, okay? A ball's thrown short, way short, and we have to come back through the DB to make a play, okay? And you can't get it. We need to be good at coming through that ball and ripping it away, all right? So never jump and body catch the ball when you don't have to, okay? And the key to it all is just attacking the ball, okay, with your hands. All right, so we're going to have this. So thumbs together on the balls that are higher than your chest, okay? Catch the ball, okay, with soft hands. So I do a lot of bucket toss to those guys, okay? And I tell them, hey, listen, this ball, pretend that it's like an egg, okay, or a loaf of bread, and I want you to catch it in a basket. And so what they'll do is they'll make sure that when they catch it, okay, I can see that they're being gentle with it. They're being soft with it and catching it, because not every ball is going to be thrown right to your chest where you can catch it like this. You have to have some finesse sometimes, okay? So we got to catch the ball, be soft with your hands with it, okay? Tuck it away, and let's go make a play and make something happen. Low ball, okay? Looking at the ball, look the ball in with your eyes, pinkies together, fingers spread wide, get shoulders down, hands under the ball, okay? Looking into the tuck and make something happen, okay? So I tell my guys, like a lot of receivers have the persona and the what is the word? They're known as being divas, and so I tell them all the time, like, you know, if you're going to be a diva, might as well claim it sometimes. And if you catch a ball that's low and you can catch it and it's an iffy call, I want you to get up and show the ball to the ref as fast as you can and make it look like you caught it. There's sometimes that they don't see everything, obviously, so you got to make sure that sometimes you can get a call for that by being just a good actor. Okay, so all right, so this is my contact info right here, and I'll show this again, but basically that's the PowerPoint presentation. If you need any of that, or if you want it, then just go ahead and like DM me on Twitter with your email address, and I'll send it over to you. All right, if it's something you want. Okay, so I'll show that again in a minute, but we're gonna move on to some film. Okay, so you can kind of see some things that we're talking about. Okay, so bear with me real quick. All right, so obviously in this clip, we got a guy that's playing off. All right, and this ball's going up top. We're looking at splits. He's off, so he knows that it's okay that he has his hands down. He doesn't have to have him in fighter stance, like we talked about. So that's good. All right, not much false step right here, and we want to make sure that we're giving him something, okay? So right here, as he climbs, okay, he understands that this DB has a little bit of an inside leverage, so he's got to square this guy up so he's releasing to get inside. And as a top, it's very slight, but he gives him something right there, okay, and causes this guy to hesitate just a little bit, okay? boom, and then now we got it. And then at the end of the day, you just got to go make a play. All right, and you're gonna bet your speed against his speed, and you're gonna go make something happen. But that's over the basket toss. He caught that ball, he reached for it, didn't jump for it, and just kept running. His momentum carried him. He caught it over the shoulder, and touchdown, man. I mean, as simple as that, you know. And they made a good play. All right. So now we have the same thing, and excuse me, you know, we did a lot of checks, so sometimes this takes a minute to get to where we need to get to. All right, so right here, and we're running this. It's just a quick little inside route. Okay, and so basically he attacks him outside, sticks his foot right here, boom. Okay, has that the defender kind of working outside a little bit. All right, and then basically we're getting inside, making a play, catching it, tucking it away, and trying to get vertical as fast as possible. Okay, you might can see it better from this angle. All right, so my bad, guys. All right, so right here, we already checked what's going on. Press on. Okay, this guy's flat-footed. Okay, we give him something to make him hesitate a little bit. Outside stick, get inside. Okay, cut him off, and then make something happen. All right, here we are with this. All right. All right, so this is another running a wheel route right here by number 3. He understands the ball's not coming to him. He's not going to beat him deep, so what does he do? He shuts his route down, okay? So he's this guy up here. So he realizes that he's not going to be able to make something happen. He can't beat him deep. He turns and looks around and sees that our quarterback's scrambling. So what do we tell our guys all the time? Come downhill, okay? If you're deep, come down. If you're down low, go deep, okay? Run to the sideline, run to the area that he's going. And that's what he does, okay? So he does that, and he comes downhill, and he makes a play on the sideline for a first down. It's something we needed at the time, so that was a good play by him, okay? Good heads-up play by that guy. All right. So we're right here. We're 3-by-1 set. Dang it. Sorry, guys. All right. So right here, running this post. His hands are off down here. We've got everybody running as fast as they can. We have number 3 inside there running his use-on route, his crossing route across the middle to kind of attack that safety and get that safety's attention on him. Okay, so it's important right here that we understand that we're trying to run a post with this guy, a wheel with this guy, and this guy's going to be inside breaking. So it's imperative that this guy tries to gain the attention of this safety. All right. If this safety doesn't pay attention to him, okay, this safety's kind of in limbo with this coverage that they're running right now. Okay, because if he takes this post route, okay, then this guy's going to come open in the middle. And so what he does in this instance is this guy does a good job gaining his attention, okay, breaking the route across his face. And then this guy obviously is running a wheel, which sets this guy up for success to make a play, okay? So we take off, got a little stick right at the top of his post route. Okay, we have the inside guy that's crossing and gaining the attention of that safety. There's nobody there. Okay, we get flushed out of the pocket, but we still get this ball off. Okay, went and made a play and then just finished. Okay, and you know it's a pretty cool thing when you see this happen. When all the work and stuff that you put in practice, when you see these happen, okay, it's pretty cool to see it all pay off. All right, so we got a corner breaking route right here. Let's see that. All right, so we're looking down here at the end of the screen. We didn't have the best filming at the very beginning of the season only because we got all this yards behind us and not front, but you can still see what happens. So we're going to make a play. All right. On the backside of corners, we always had some kind of slant or post route called just so we could take advantage of that. But what he does, and he does a good job, is he goes up and makes a play. All right. So it's clear upside. Top's not good. All right. Got the swing right down here, but we get flushed up. Quarterback does a great job stepping up. And then at the end of the day, we just made a good play. All right. So that was him climbing the ladder. That ball's in the air, 50-50. Whose is it? He keeps running, attacks the ball at the highest position, pulls it down, tucks it away, touchdown. Yeah, it doesn't get better than that. All right. So we're looking at this perfect route. So basically it's just like a 3-step slant. But what we're doing is we're going to where they're not. Okay. So these linebackers, they're not dropping. Okay. They're up there playing run. And so it's a good job by this number 2 receiver down here. When he outside sticks right here, okay, the safety's the only one that can make a play on this. All right. He understands that there's nobody underneath it. He gets across the field and makes a play right there. Okay. And that's all we're asking for. All right. And he kind of caught this ball, tucked it away, and he kind of kept it loose. And that's something that we work on. We taught these guys, as soon as you catch that ball in traffic, either you have it high and tight with 2 hands on it, okay, making sure that you don't turn it over or cause something to happen where we take a great play and make it a bad one, okay? All right, so it's a good job by him doing that. All right, so this is a good play right here. This is understandable. Our tight end understands that this we taught these DNs, okay? They were going to keep coming. The outside backer, he's a dude, man. And we knew by watching film that he was going to keep coming like that and he was going to be aggressive. So we told him to bypass him, okay? And then the only guy that can make a play on this ball is this linebacker. And he's not even really worried about him. So he did a good job releasing, getting outside, sticking, and getting back inside, catching the ball, didn't jump for it. Stuck his hands out there, caught it, and then it was off to the races. Okay, and that's a great guy. That guy for us is going to Lincoln University. He's about 6'4", 220. All right, and was probably the best hands on our team. All right, he was a senior this year, so that's a huge loss. But we're excited for him because when he wants to, and he can go, and he has the ability to be great. All right, so same play. All right, so real quick, so we're checking. All right, same concept, push wheel up top. All right, he knows that he has to attack the leverage. The leverage is inside of him. This is number 4, the very most out receiver on top. Okay, he knows that he has to get inside leverage, so he's going to attack this guy inside. He sees that they're switching, all right, which is great. Because that guy's already underneath it. He has that guy stacked, and so we're going to make a play. And I told him all the time, once you have that guy stacked, man, it's hard for him to make a play on the ball. It's very hard for him to make a play on the ball. All right? And he does a great job right there. And he doesn't jump because if he jumps, he might not catch this. He keeps running, trusts his hands, looks the ball into the tuck, catches it, touchdown. Simple. All right? Back into some of our choice routes right here. All right, so up top, that's another one of our guys that's senior this year. He's going to Hardin Simmons, play receiver. Great player, man. Great player. All right, but he pushes him vertical. All right, pushing vertical. That guy's belling. We're not going to get over top of it, but he attacks his blind spot. That near hip gives him something, okay? All right, he knows that he can't beat him on this choice route, so what does he do? He shuts it down and works downhill, okay? Comes and gets it, and then we make a play. After you catch the ball, I tell my guys, it's time to make plays. Make people miss. It's all about the yak, right? The yards after the catch. So he does a great job of doing that and then getting where we need to get for a first down so we can set ourselves up for a score, okay? All right. So this was a huge game for us, okay? It's against Burleson Centennial. We've been watching this all week, okay? And we just called this a now call, okay? And basically what happened was this guy understood, this receiver understood, okay? There's no one back here, all right? And that safety's over the top of this number 2 receiver, so there's nobody back here. So if I can get past this guy as fast as I can, the chances of the ball coming to me are great. We removed the running back from the backfield and came out here, so that occupied this guy. So now instead of the corner making a play on this, okay, the corner's preoccupied with the running back, and what that's going to do is set us up for success, okay, to make something happen. What's up, Coach?
Coach, you got a question.
Yep.
What are your coaching points on the choice route, like depth or steps?
As far as the choice goes, I tell them you got about 10 to 12 yards to decide what you're going to do. At that point, your decision needs to be made. So if I know that I'm going to run a route, like say I'm trying to beat the guy up top. If by 10 yards, I don't feel like I can get past that guy, I need to shut it down. All right. And if I get even with that guy or I'm close to it and I have confidence I can beat him, then I'm just going to keep going. All right. So that's simple as it is. If I can't beat him deep, I got to shut it down. If I can beat him deep, I'm going to keep going. Hope that answered your question. All right. So here it is right here. He's just releasing. He knows they don't have help up there. Okay. He gets to where he needs to get to. Ball comes to him, keeps running, catches the ball in the basket over the top. Boom, touchdown. I mean, I'm geeked up, man. I'm excited. When these guys do what they're supposed to and they see success, man, it's humbling for sure. All right, but there's that right there. All right, so here's another out here. We have inside breaking slant. Understands that this linebacker, okay, right here, shuffling up. He's not going to make a play. So we got to go to where he's not. This guy's backpedaling. There's this grass. This is where we want him to attack. So that's the grass we're going for. All right. So he knows that he's going to go up, get somewhere, get to the grass, and make a play. Catch the ball, tuck it away, get vertical as fast as you can, and let's see how much we can get out of it. Okay. And then rally to the ball. Okay. So he does a good job right here, giving him just a little something. Okay. And then breaking it across and making something happen. Okay. So that's really great right there by this guy. He's a returner. He'll be a junior. He'll be a senior for us. So that's exciting. All right. So this is our intermediate. This is our crossing route. They have a safety that's playing back. All right. We see that this guy's flat-footed right here. All right. So what does he do? He knows that this guy's pilling back here. So he needs to get across, okay? So he sees this linebacker's playing down a little bit. So he knows that he has to get across the field. So he's reading these two guys, okay? And he's getting to where they're not. It's a good job by our quarterback putting that in there and then just catching the ball and making a play, okay? And then getting upfield and making something happen. All right? That's a great job by him. All right, this is Midlothian. And earlier in the presentation, I told you that we don't see much press, but this is what we saw. This is who pressed us the most. And I'm be honest with you, man, we didn't really attack them a lot vertically, just because their press was good. So we had to find ways to make something happen, and that was our intermediate and short and our underneath routes. Okay, so we have this right here. This receiver is going to be running a post route up here. So this guy steps down, opens his hips. Okay, playing outside, so we know that we got to get inside. What I wish he would have done a little bit better. Okay, right there is giving him more of an outside stick, maybe a head and shoulder fake, just to get him maybe to widen a little bit to give me an opportunity to make a play. Because what the hardest thing to do is, or what makes it easier for this guy to cover him, is if he just runs at him and then just does this. If he just runs at him and does this, okay, all he has to do is do that, and he's on top of that route. And these guys are told not to get beat deep, so you have to give yourself some kind of advantage by giving them something at the top of your route break. So he takes off. I wanted him probably just to give him a little step right here, okay, to see if he'll widen and then get right here now, okay? So that's something that we really try to harp on and repeat and get across to our guy. And so this is a scramble play. This receiver understood we ain't going across the field anymore, so we got to go. So he comes, he keeps running. The ball's thrown late. It's short. So what does he do? He bodies this guy up, gets himself in position to make a play, attacks at the high point, okay, and comes down with the ball over the guy's shoulder, okay? And that was a very good job by him, okay? That was just, at the end of the day, that's not any coaching that I did. It's all that kid, okay? And he made that play, and it's exciting, but he made that play because he knew what to do in the situation when the time called for it, and that's as simple as that goes. All right. So let's get right here. Oh. So essentially, that's that on that. You know, at the end of the day, with our receivers, we just want them. Oops, we're not listening to Spotify. We just want them to be as successful as we possibly can make them. All right. We want them to understand that, you know, we want them to be technical and do the things we want them to do, but we don't want to overcoach it, obviously. And we want to make them we want to eliminate their thought process, okay? We want to make it to where they have to think less and react more. All right. So, if you coach receivers or whatever position you coach, understand that not all of them will work the same way. And there is a way that you want them to do things, but understand that sometimes they might not be able to. So find a way to reach out to those guys and reach them in a way that's going to help them be successful. All right. And then just understand that, the confidence is something that you just got to build up with them. Okay. And then they continue just giving them props and telling them great job and making sure that you can make something happen. But at the end of the day, it's all about the want to and the will. Okay. And if they got that attacking mindset, all right, there's nothing that they can't do. And so if we make sure that they're able to understand that, okay, and we can get them to do that, I mean, that's awesome. Okay. So that's about it. So I hope I didn't bore you too much with that. I hope you got something out of it. Like I said, my Twitter info, obviously if you saw this link on Twitter that Coach Granadaddy put out there, okay, just hit me up with your email address and I'll send it to you. Always make sure to follow, and huge shout out to Coach G for setting this up, man, because I've honestly probably learned more in the past 2 or 3 days than I have in a while. And it's just from all of us coming together during this time where, there's struggle and strife, and we understand there's power in numbers. And, it's not about someone knowing more than someone else, because there's a lot of stuff that I don't know that I take and I adapt and I adopt a lot of things that you guys do. So it's not about that. It's not about the X's and O's. It's about us coming together and building up this fraternity that is coaches, and continue making it something that's great that people look forward to getting into. All right. So, like I said, if you follow me, I'll follow you back. And I'm going to use this time to kind of shout out a little bit, but if you need a banner schedule, anything like that made, I got you, and I'll hook you up. I believe in presenting you with the best product as possible. So let's get something going. I ain't got much going on right now except just edits. So hit me up with some more and I'll make it happen. But Coach G, thank you so much, man, for getting out here and giving me the opportunity to come speak in front of these awesome coaches. And you guys take advantage of it. I don't necessarily present that much. All right. And things like this. So take a chance, put yourself out there, take yourself out of the comfort zone, allow yourself to grow. All right. And then just go. We're not here to judge anybody. There is something that somebody's going to say that we're going to take from it and become a better coach from it at some point. So don't ever worry about that. Is it nerve-wracking? Heck yes. I teach speech. All right. So my kids are always nervous. Okay. So just understand that, take a chance, allow yourself to get out of your comfort zone, grow. Okay. And continue to connect. That's the best way to learn things, is to connect with people. I literally connected with Coach G off of I think it was an edit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the rest is history. Probably half the coaches that follow me, I met them through an edit. Okay. And now we talk ball all the time. Okay. And the thing that's cool with Coach G is he coaches receivers too. So now we really link up about some stuff. So you guys continue building a brand, continue reaching out and praying for those right now that are in need. I understand this is a scary time, but just keep your prayer up, man. Keep your faith up and understand that everything happens for a reason. We're going to be okay. All right. Love up your kids, because I understand it. For me, I'm getting crazy sitting in this house. I want to be in the weight room. I want to be on the field. I want to be grinding and eating with those guys. But, take a few minutes out of your day to let them know that you care about them, you're thinking about them, and continue building those relationships. But like I said, Coach G, thank you so much, man.
Absolutely.
And you guys tune in for this next Zoom, because it's about to be lit. I'm talking straight fire. Okay, so y'all need to be for that. But thanks again, guys.
Hey, I'm glad